we are going to start Java and Java fundamentals. Yesterday we have seen how much Java we required to start automation testing, and we are going to learn Selenium with Java language. Okay, so first few sessions we are completely focusing on Java, and then we'll move forward. So as part of today's session, I'm going to discuss a few more important topics which are very basic in Java. Like we'll see what is introduction about Java, what is Java, and what is object-oriented programming, and then we'll see how we can configuration will do. So how we can install Java, and we need also a kind of editor where we can write our Java code or Java programs. And a few topics from Java programming we can discuss, like Java variables, data types, and operators. Okay, so this is the agenda for today. Now let's start one by one. So basically, what is Java? So Java is a programming language. There are multiple types of programming languages, like we have structure programming language, and we have object-based programming language, and also we have object-oriented programming languages. There are three categories of languages we have. So structure programming language means we can write a code, but it doesn't support any object-oriented programming. So we'll discuss what are those object-oriented programming features in later sessions. And any programming language which doesn't support object-oriented programming concepts, they are all comes under the structure programming languages. Okay, and there are some languages which will partially support object-oriented programming concepts, especially class and object. So class and object. So these are the only two topics which are supported by languages. They are all comes under the object-based language. And there is another category called object-oriented programming languages. So the programming or programming language will support multiple concepts like classes, objects, inheritance, polymorphism, data abstraction. So these are all comes under the object-oriented programming concepts. So the languages which are supported these features are comes under the object-oriented programming language. Okay, so these are the three categories we have. So Java is comes under the purely object-oriented programming language. And not only Java, C Sharp is also there. C Sharp also comes under purely object-oriented programming language. And Visual Basic we have, or VB Script. So these languages are comes under the object-based languages. And the C language comes under the structure-oriented programming language. And Python is comes under both object oriented, object based, and structure. So all kinds of programming we can write. Okay, we can write in Java. So Java is basically object oriented programming language. All right, so that is the basic differences between structure programming language, object based programming language, and object oriented programming language. Okay, and Java is a most popular programming language nowadays, and it is owned by Oracle. So currently Oracle is a company which is taken care by Java. And basically Java used in multiple types of applications like mobile applications, desktop applications, web-based applications, and games, databases, and many more. So there are n number of applications currently using Java. Okay, so almost 50 to 60% of the people are currently using Java. And even for automation also, 60%, 70% of the people currently using Java as a uh, language which is used in automation. Now let us see why we use Java. Basically, what is the importance of Java? So when you compare with the other programming languages, so Java is basically installed on multiple operating systems, can be installed on multiple operating systems, and we can work with Java. It supports Windows, Mac, Linux, Unix, all other operating systems. Okay, that's a major reason. And we can also learn very simple, and it is basically open source, and it's secure, faster, and powerful. So these are basic features of Java. So because of that reason, we are going to learn Java. The one is because of popularity, and it is very popular language when you compare with other languages in the market. And the second thing is it supports multiple platforms. And moreover, Selenium itself is implemented by using Java itself. Okay, and because of these major regions, and also open source, it is freely available. We don't require any license. So because of these reasons, we are going to use Java as a language in automation. Okay, And now, so before going to Java, so we need to understand three important things: JDK, JRE, JVM. So JDK means Java Development Kit, JRE means Java Runtime Environment, JVM is Java Virtual Machine. So these three things are very, very important at the beginning level. You need to understand. So whenever you search for Java in online, so you will see these kind of keywords: JDK, JRE, JVM. So what is these three? So we need to understand very, very clearly. So JDK, JRE, JVM. So Java software is available in two different flavors. One is called as a JDK. So JDK is one flavor, and the other one is JRE. So when you are downloading Java also, you can see these two flavors. One is JDK, the other one is JRE. JDK means Java Development Kit, JRE means Java Runtime Environment. So what is the basic difference between JDK and JRE is, JDK means complete full Java software. So once you have installed JDK, you can work with Java. So because we can develop, we can write our code, we can develop an application, so we can do everything with Java. And if you install JDK, okay, it will come with all libraries which are coming from Java itself. So JDK means full complete Java software. And JRE, so there is another kind of flavor we have is JRE, Java Runtime Environment. So when I install only JRE without JDK, I can just run your Java applications, but I cannot implement the code. That means, suppose you have downloaded, you may observe something like you have downloaded some applications, and before installing of applications, it by default it will install some JRE component. So why? Because the applications which are developed using Java, if you want to install and work with those applications, you need a Java runtime environment. Okay. So even if you go for .NET applications also, if you are trying to install any applications which are developed by Microsoft, you need to install .NET framework. So that's a prerequisite. Okay, that will provide you a kind of runtime environment so that we can we can work with your applications, softwares. Similarly, if you want to install or work with any Java applications or applications developed by using Java, if you want to install and work with those applications in your system, first of all, you need to have JRE. So that will provide you runtime environment. So until unless you install JRE, you cannot install and work with your Java application. So that is another component. So if you install JDK, so JDK is a complete software. If you install JDK, inside this JDK, JRE is also part of it. Okay, you don't need to install JRE separately if you installed JDK. Okay, so JDK inbuilt contains a JRE, so Java Runtime Environment. But if you install JDK, you will get JRE. But if you install JRE alone, you cannot get a JDK. Okay, so remember this. And next one is Java JVM, Java Virtual Machine. This is another important component. So JVM is a part of JRE. So this is a subsection of JRE, Java Virtual Machine. So this is a main component which will compile your code and execute your code, converting your code into bytecode. So all internal activities are done by the JVM. So this is basically heart of your Java. Okay, so until unless JVM, you cannot work with anything else. But we don't need to install JVM separately. We don't have any separate software to install JVM alone. It is inbuilt in JRE. JVM is a inbuilt in JRE. So if you install JDK, by default, you will get JRE, JVM internally. And if you install only JRE, you will get JRE and JVM both. Okay, so basically JVM is there for everywhere. So if you have a Java environment or Java development kit installed in your system, so by default JVM will be there. So that is the main core component which will work with the Java. Internal changes will be done by the JVM. So these are the three important components we have in Java. So JDK, JRE, JVM. So JDK used for developing your Java applications. JRE is used for running your Java applications. JVM is used for compiling your Java code, and also converting your code into byte code, so that can be understandable by multiple platforms. So we can call it as a byte code. So byte code is nothing but is a machine code which we cannot understand, but the code is understandable by operating systems, multiple operating systems. So normally what happens is you will write code in Java, right? So Java language in normal English, but how other operating system will understand this language? So the same Java program can be executed on Windows, we can execute on Linux, we can execute on Unix and many more operating systems. But how is it possible how these operating systems will interpret your language? Because the code will not directly execute on these operating systems. As soon as you have executed our Java code, internally it will convert it into byte code. Okay, not understandable format is a machine language, and this bytecode can understandable by all operating systems. So who is doing this task is JVM is doing this task. So JVM will convert all your Java statements into bytecode, and this bytecode is available in the form of dot class file. So when I create a Java program, the file extension will be dot Java. Once it is converted into bytecode, the file extension should be dot class file, and this class file is understandable by all other operating systems. So that's the reason Java is become platform independent. Okay, so any platform we can create a Java program in Windows and we can execute on some other operating system. So how it is possible? Because of JVM, because of bytecode. Okay, so here this picture is clearly says. So first we have created Java program. Once you compile the Java program, it will create the class file. So class file contains a bytecode. So this bytecode is executed on multiple platforms. So you can see this picture clearly here. Java code will be Java.Java extension. Java compiler will convert it into bytecode, and JVM will execute this bytecode on multiple operating systems. So this is the internal structure of Java, but this is not much important for us because just basic understanding is important. Okay, that's the reason I'm just covering this topic. Otherwise, not required. Okay, this is the basic information about Java. So now